So now that we have our pawn and everything like that set up to where we are pretty much ready to actually, hold something, I think it's time we go ahead and start working on building the Firearm class, just so we can equip it and, do whatever we need to. So to begin, let's go ahead and create a new folder. Call it whatever you want. This one's going to be like the project/tutorial folder, so I'm just going to call mine tutorial. I want a subfolder called blueprints. And yeah, we'll just start from here. So to begin, let's create a new actor. And I'm going to call mine BP Firearm. I'm going to add a skeletal mesh and make it the root. And I'm going to use the SKAR4. So depending on which, whatever you're using, in my case, this is the marketplace pack from 1 or 2 videos ago. I can't remember. This is what I'm going to be using basically. So from here, we want to go ahead and start building it out. Now, the plugin favors composition. So you basically add kind of what you want. So the first thing I want to add, because this is a firearm, is the firearm component. Now from here, under the initialization, you can see it takes in a firearm mesh component name and a attachment manager component name. Now I want to point out that the attachment manager is no longer a requirement. You don't actually need the attachment manager, but because we are going to be using it in this series for attachments and all that to show you how to use it, we are going to be adding it. So I need to redo this comment above it. But anyways, for the firearm mesh component name, we do skeletal mesh. Then let's add the attachment manager. And just like the skeletal mesh, we do SKG attachment manager. So you just follow along with the names that are right here. So now that we have that, we are good to go there, and we can add a procedural anim component. Now this procedural anim component, we can leave default here, but we do need to create a initialize data asset. So this will be for handling things like, you can kind of like bulk reuse this for multiple firearms. So that's the whole reason behind the data asset approach. And I'll show you here in a second as we get more involved. So under our tutorial folder, we're going to create another one called data. And I'll just make a new data asset, so miscellaneous data asset, and we want the initialization settings for the initial or for the procedural anim component. So the easiest way to find it is just search for init, and you'll see all the initialize, settings you have. So we want the procedural anim one. So let's do DA underscore procedural anim init underscore, let's just do firearm. So the goal is to kind of have these done in chunks, so to speak. So you might have one for a firearm, one for an optic, one for laser, whatever you want. It's really kind of up to you. And you get to reuse it across all of them rather than having to, tweak the settings, which would be these guys here for each one. So to begin, we have a procedural mesh name. In our case, that's going to be the skeletal mesh. So skeletal mesh. And then because in our case, we do want to aim with it, it does have an aim socket by default, which is S_aim. So what we want to do is we want to add this socket so that way we can aim with our firearm. So let's go to our firearm mesh, open that on up, and let's add a socket. We'll just call it S_aim. And I'm not too worried about positioning as of just yet, but I want to get it, pretty close. So that's, center enough. So we can go back, save this, and everything else, at least in our case, can be a default. We don't have to worry about it. So we can close out of those, go to our procedural anim component, and set it. Compile, save, and there we go. Now, part of the reason I'm also doing this series is because I want to make sure I have all the example data that'll make things a lot easier to carry over. So before I recorded this, I had to bring these over. So that's going to be all of these examples. So we have our aiming settings example, procedural offsets we don't actually have because we're not going to use it for the time being, but I'll explain what those are later. Cycle point aiming settings, movement sway, movement lag, rotation lag, and I don't want dead zone, but I do want recoil. And then I do have a pose, but we're going to worry about all of that later because that's kind of a second, like a separate system that would kind of deserve its own little video, so to speak. Okay, so now that we have this, let's go ahead, go back to our Firearm or just hit class default, and we want to set this to replicate because we are going to be using this in multiplayer testing and whatnot, so just to make it a little easier. Okay, let's go back to our third person character, find our begin play that does not exist, so let's make a begin play. And if we are the server, so has authority, or actually better yet, let's make a new event. So custom event, let's do spawn default firearm. And inside of here, if we have authority, we do stuff. So on begin play, I just want to call spawn default firearm. And if we have authority, I want to spawn actor, and that actor is going to be our BP firearm. And we'll just give it a empty transform. I need to move this up a little bit. And we want to set the owner. So the owner is going to be self and collision handling override, always spawn, ignore collisions. So once we have that, we can go ahead and attach this firearm to a component, and that component is going to be our mesh, so our character here. And we want to snap the target. And then the socket that we want to attach to is going to be IK hand gun, part of the mannequin. Once we have that, simply grab the shooter bond component and call set held actor. So plug in the return value into the actor. And there we go. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Make sure it actually does spawn and attach to our IK handgun, which it does like so. Now we just want to get out of this ugly upper body pose. So that's going to be kind of the next step. So we head over to our Anim BP. This one right here, which is the example that just comes with the SKGSF core module or core folder. And again, at some point we are going to be kind of building our own, so to speak. So what we want to do is here we have our upper body layer. In our case, we don't have this set up yet. We don't have that system. So we can either make it or we can build a temporary one. Or not a temporary one, just use a animation as a temporary, well, placeholder. So here I have this basic rifle idle, which is the M4 idle animation basically from the project. We're going to plug that into here instead. So now when we hit play, you can see that actually aligned almost perfectly. I'm quite surprised, actually. So I guess that means the root is pretty darn close. But anyhow, we now have that set up. So we don't have really much else going for it. As you can kind of see, we have some other issues. So these are things that we need to correct. And my question being, which one do I have on here? No, I have that. So there are going to be some things that we need to tweak, primarily these. So we're going to disconnect the has held actor for now and leave them as true. So when that happens, well, that actually didn't do what I was thinking. So let me see. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, so I wasn't missing something. I just forgot I had something else set up in the meantime. Basically, it was running the unarmed layer, not the armed layer, and the reason being it was being overwritten inside of here. So basically, this binds the on held actor change and all that kind of stuff. And for now, we're just going to disconnect. So the event blueprint begin play inside of the main Anim blueprint. So this in theory should allow it to not overwrite. However, we can use this later on once we actually set up the Anim layers. So now when we hit play, there we go. You can see we have some rotation lag. We have our movement sway and all that stuff. The only thing we don't have is the offhand IK, which is its own little system. And that's something I want to cover in a dedicated video. But we do have it set up and we know we can very easily do stuff. So if I, for example, go ahead and make an input for the right mouse button. So on press and release, I just start aiming. and stop aiming, we now have ourselves set up to aim. However, we need to adjust the socket. So as you can see, when we aim, the firearm just points straight down. So let's go ahead and go to the skeletal mesh, grab S_aim, and we want it to be up. So Z up, Y forward. As you can see kind of by here, these axes, and as you can see it corrects like so. So now we aim with the firearm. Likewise, we have other means of doing very simple stuff. So with the left mouse button, we can, for example, perform procedural recoil, like so. So hopefully you're starting to see kind of how the system is designed from here. So anyhow, we're going to remove this for now. Actually, yeah, we'll just leave it, it's fine. But what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to go ahead and focus on the offhand IK system and kind of explain how it works and what all is really involved with using it. So some ways you can handle it and do different things. So with that said, I will see you in the next video.